Shalom. Kal halalim la abanawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of the body. Shalom to the prophets of the body, and shalom to the 144,001 May peace and blessings be upon you and your households. We're going home soon. Okay, we're not here long. Okay, we just have to go through what has been said by Yahweh Bahashem Yashai, via his prophets, and we just have to go through each stage, as they say, because in another dimension we're already ruling. All right, so we've won the battle. We've got the exam result, so to speak, if I can use that analogy. But we just have to go through each second, minute, hour, day, week, month, until the Lord returns. Okay. All right. I'm just going to play a new segment. All right. It is more than likely a Jake couple, or was a Jake couple, with, I believe, 6 children. And Jake deleted his wife. And a lot of these things have started happening, okay, after or during the 1-9 period. After that time. Obviously, it's all Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Isaiah 45 verse 7. The Lord deals with the right hand side and the left hand side. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yashai said, whoever perisheth being innocent. All right. And paraphrasing another scripture, I kill and make alive. None can deliver out my hand. Okay, actually, let me get that scripture first. I kill and make alive. None can deliver at my hand. King James Version. Let me go to this one first. First Peter's 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yashai. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yashai? Okay. And this Jake, I believe, is a Jake. Okay. Somebody called Mamadou Diallo, right? From West Africa, I believe. Okay. And a lot of you West African Jakes are into that wacky-tacky Christianity, and a lot of you are Muslim too. So, you weren't believing, or you weren't chosen to believe. All right. So, a lot of our people are going to get deleted on this side, in various ways. The Lord is the ultimate drama king, man. Benjamin liked to say 6 million ways to die. Choose one, right? Well, who put that in your thought process? The Lord did. And the Lord is the ultimate drama king, man. The Lord likes to tease you and play with you until, the Lord gets you, like that movie Final Destination. If the Lord's got it in for you, the Lord's going to get you. All right? The Lord's going to get you. Where is it on? I said it was Isaiah 43. Second. Okay. Isaiah 43 and 13. One second. I kill and make alive. None can deliver out my hand. King James Version. It's Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power or no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. All right. Let's play the new segment. Copyright fair use. Okay, let's go.
I need a firefighter here. I got a fire in my house.
It was the call that would lead to a deadly discovery. Now investigators are looking for answers after a woman was strangled and set on fire. Her husband is now charged in her death. Thanks for joining us at 5, everybody. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Andrew Kinsey. We do want to warn you that...
Okay, so he strangled his wife and then set her on fire. Now that's some hatred. The Lord didn't, I hate to say it, the Lord, the way the man got her, deleted his wife. It's quite horrific. Strangled her and set her on fire. So the Lord, hate to say it, didn't like her.
Some of the details in this story may be disturbing. 10 TV's Brittany Bailey talked with detectives and friends and family of the victim. Brittany.
Well, those friends and family are most certainly heartbroken, and they want answers about why Fatoumata Diallo is now gone.
Yeah, I need a firefighter here. I got a fire in my house.
You have a fire?
Yes, I need a fire.
It was that 911 call made by Mamadou Diallo that led to this scene on No Bixby Road Thursday afternoon.
Is everybody out of the house? No. I think I just grabbed the kids out. I couldn't go in. I tried to get in now. I can't control it.
Diallo and his 2 young children made it out safely. First responders would soon discover his wife, Fatoumata Diallo, did not.
The 911 call, he never mentioned his wife was in the house for 45 seconds to a minute. I mean, if it was you and I and our loved one was in the house, the first thing I would say is get somebody here. My wife's in the basement. I can't get her out.
By the time firefighters put out the flames, it was already too late.
She was strangled with some sort of braided cable, maybe a phone cord, something of that nature. And then she was set on fire.
Her family and friends say they knew the couple had had problems, but never expected Fatoumata to be killed. Police reports show a history of calls to the house dating back to 2018. They mention a temporary protection order against Mamadou and tension between Fatoumata and her stepchildren. One officer wrote, "It is my opinion that this living situation is a powder keg of tension waiting to explode."
Okay, I didn't know there were stepchildren involved. So obviously, the man more than likely was, something must have happened between his wife and his stepchildren. You know, you very seldom find a woman, especially in this world, that would love and care for children that she didn't really bear herself. You know what I mean? Like, even though they're her husband's children, but the seed wasn't planted in her, so she doesn't have that maternal connection. Women can be wicked and be evil towards their children. Or we don't know what the situation is. What the situation is, but ultimately, strangling with a cable and then setting her on fire.
Most likely only a matter of time before something at this residence turns into something criminal.
It was very tragic. There are stepkids involved, so they lost their stepmother and father, and the 2 younger children lost their mother, and now their father is behind bars.
Well, in fact, the couple has 7.
Okay, 7 children. So she's got some with him, and some he's had from a previous woman.
Children total 4.
Behind bars.
Well, in fact, the couple has 7 children total, 4 shared and 3 stepchildren. Mamadou Diallo is in jail tonight, charged with murder, arson, and tampering with evidence. He is due in court tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office and the State Fire Marshal's Office are working together to figure out exactly what happened here.
Let's go to something else.
We have got to the point where...
Go to another one.
Full of light, silenced in the darkness. Only on 16 WAPT, the Clinton community is remembering a 45-year-old mother of 3 killed in her home. Jasmine Singleton was found shot Monday night. Her sister is heartbroken, her friends are in shock, and her accused killer is the man she once loved. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at 10. I'm Megan West.
And I'm Troy Johnson. As police begin to work their case, Jasmine Singleton's loved ones are demanding justice and sending a message to others trapped in the shadows of domestic violence. Speak up before it's too late. In a story you'll only see here on 16 WAPT, our own Brooklyn Joyner spoke with those who knew and loved her. She joins us live in Clinton tonight with what they shared. Brooklyn.
Troy, Megan, Jasmine's friends and family says that she should still be alive today. They said that they will always remember her kind and caring personality. The vibrant spirit of Jasmine Singleton gone too soon, but will always be remembered by those who loved her.
We did the karaoke, and she was the background singer to me.
Her sister, Deandra, is angry about her sister's murder as she shares memories of the 45-year-old's life.
Why would you do that to my sister? My only sister, my oldest sister.
Singleton was found shot to death on her kitchen floor in Clinton Monday night. Less than a day later, her ex-boyfriend, 42-year-old Carl D. Mack, was arrested and charged for her murder.
You know the saying, to death do us part. That's what it was. He was jealous. He didn't want to let her go. So instead, being a man, he was a coward, and he took her away from us.
Deandra said Mack was a violent person, and Singleton broke up with Mack months ago to protect her 3 children.
She spoke up, but it wasn't enough.
Now Singleton's community is cherishing the memories they had with her, including her makeup artist who she had known since high school.
The whole time I have her face in my hands, and I'm sculpting her eyebrows, creating the look that she wants. She was always a sweet, happy, loving, gentle, bright, happy spirit.
Although Singleton lost her life, Deandra said she is proud of her sister for speaking up against domestic violence and encourages others to continue to do the same.
Everyone has to speak up. When you see these red flags, you have to speak up.
You know, same scenario as always. You know, the first one obviously was a married couple. This one, you know, pictures of children, you know, with their children, you know, beautiful children, but, you know, unfortunately, no husband, you know. And she's, you know, hey, the love of many is waxing cold.
At this point, her funeral arrangements have not been planned, but as we get more details on that, we will keep you updated. I'm live at the Clinton Police Department. Brooklyn Joyner, 16 WAPT News.
All right, Brooklyn, thank you. Well, help is available for...
Right. And there's numerous stories like that online. Okay. Obviously, Esau, the so-called white man, he you know, he likes to grape and murder like there's no tomorrow. That's his MO, that's his nature, along with other foul acts. But the Lord is dealing with, you know, you Jakes first, man. You know, the Lord is dealing with you, especially you women. You know, men are sick and tired. Whatever the situation may be, you know, the Lord is still, you know, dealing with you women. The Lord is deleting 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, getting you women and then getting them men that are doing this kind of work, and either getting them deleted or putting them behind bars. And only the Lord knows what's happening to them behind bars, right? Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That love isn't there anymore, you know. I mean, the first story, the man, you know. I mean, the lady looked like, you know, somewhat attractive. You know, she's covered up, got a headscarf on and all that. That's cool, you know. But they wanting the truth. I mean, they were more than likely Jake. They're from West Africa. They look like Jake. Only the Lord knows if they're Jake or not, right? But they look like Jake to me, you know. But then, you know, it's not always just about the look. But I'm just going by the name and the part of the world they're from and how they look. But only the Lord knows the rest. Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. They had 7 children. Okay? And that anger must have been so severe where the man strangled his wife and then burnt her. And that's some hatred for you. right? And the second one, the dude, right, knew she had more than a couple of children, right? So-called productive member of society, a nurse, close to damn near 50, right? The man didn't want to let her go, okay? And what did he do? He filled her, full of lead. I'm gonna have some hatred for you. Not just one shot, numerous. Verse 13. Yeah, let's read it. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay? And that's what it is. Nobody's saved at the moment. The elect have to endure until the end. All right? And when the Lord returns and you're beamed up into the chariot, that's when you are saved. Okay? Until then, it's all based on, everything's based on faith. Okay? Faith-based Israelites. Okay? Hebrews 11 verse 1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What do we hope for, man? Salvation. Okay? Whether you are part of the 1/3 or, or the 144. Okay? So Brachim to be in the chariots, man. Safe and sound. Watching the world burn. Okay? Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Okay? Verse 16. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. The days are evil. You've got to be careful within your home. Okay? You live with extended family, spirits can jump from person to person, right? Okay? You got to be, there's a lot of demonic spirits out and about doing their thing, Like when the Lord asked Satan, what are you doing? Satan basically said that, I'm going up and down, He's doing his job. Paraphrasing the scripture there, He's doing his job, causing havoc and mayhem, affecting people's minds and thoughts and making them do things that, and the days are evil. Okay? It's like that scene in the Ghostbusters movie. Esau got them portals open, man. All right? And there's demonic spirits that are coming in to cause these things to happen. All right? And this is another way than 2/3 are going to get. To pursue to the book of Zechariah 13 and 8 and 13 and 9. All right? The 2/3 are going to get got by a multitude of ways, whether it's starvation, being deleted by a so-called spouse, right? By being deleted by your brother, being deleted by your sister, being deleted by your parents. You're going to get Marvin Gaye. Children being deleted by their mothers. Children deleting their mothers or their parents, for insurance money. Okay? We're in a very evil world. All right? And they're going to increase. Okay? So you're going to work circumspectly. Keep your head on a swivel. Okay? But most importantly, right, is to stay prayed up, man. Okay? Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. All right? Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yeshai, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. All right? Those of you that are somewhat sincere, these stories like this should put like a fear in your heart, because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yeshai controls anything and everything, okay? You just don't know when the Lord, can make things happen. The days are real evil, man. Going to clubs and pubs and all that kind of stuff, and places packed full of people on so-called social events, is something that you should limit, because now, it's a time of judgment, So that doesn't mean you can't go out and so-called socialize and all that. Nothing wrong with that, but that shouldn't be at your forefront. What I mean? This ain't 1985 or 1992. Very different world we're in right now. This ain't the era of mirth. Okay? It's the era of being circumspect to a high degree. All right? And it's an era of being more spiritual, especially if you're an Israelite, more than anything else. Okay? Our prophets and teachers, the apostles and elders on down, are online. Okay, you're in the UK and most of your camps are in Baltimore, New York, and London. Watch them. You know, whoever your favorite teacher is. There's a teacher in within the prophets of Great Millstone to you know to speak to every kind of different type of personality of Jake. All right, so you shouldn't have an issue. You know, you should be watching the men of the Lord, because this truth is not going to be here forever. There's going to be a time, as the elders say, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Rashai, to prophesy. The time for these prophecies to actually play out. And we're in the time when these things are literally playing out. World War III on the horizon. People deleting each other. The Karagma on the horizon. The digital ID being pushed everywhere. You know, they're saying it's got to be mandatory. Otherwise, you're not gonna be functioning in society. You know, you're gonna be like the mole people. You're gonna be like them underground troops or underground group of people, like in the movie Demolition Man. You know, all right. But the rest of yous might be in that situation where you got to eat rat burgers, but the elect are not going to eat all rat burgers, man. Number one, that's disgusting. Number two, that's against the law, man. Number one, it's against the law. Number two, it's disgusting. All right. Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way. And, you know, news segments like this should scare the shit out of you, man. Especially if you're a woman or even a man. You know? All right. Knowing that the Lord, could make things like that happen. You know? Or anyone for that matter. The Lord can get you in a multitude of ways. You don't have to be in a relationship with a woman and have several children. You know? It could be, this could happen anytime. All right. Let the wicked forsake his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Okay? Sometimes the Lord has to use, the Lord does things in a multitude of ways. Deletes two birds with one stone, and at the same time, one of the hopeful elect members will see a new segment like this, and it'll scare the shit out of them, and for them to even straighten themselves up even more, get their attention. All right, so these things serve as a purpose. All right, keep your head on a swivel, stay prayed up, and grab this truth while it's hot. All right, because it's not going to be here forever, because the days are evil. And these new segments are just the tip of the iceberg. We could be here all day going through one page after the next. All right, and how these things have increased, especially around Jake, ever since the 1-9 period. People have got that you know what in them. Right? So these things are going to increase even more. Okay, because we're at the tail end of this world, and these things are going to increase. All right? These things are going to increase. So, whatever you do, pray, pray, pray in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Okay? Especially you Israelites that have the truth. Not no Yude Vade or Yeshua or Yah. It's Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Okay? So keep your head on a swivel. Days are evil. Stay prayed up. And quit bullshitting around. And if you are sincere and you want to grab onto this truth, and you have a spiritual calling, as they say, or you're being pulled, you have the urge to watch the prophets and listen and be attentive and take notes and learn the name, I suggest you subscribe to the Men of Great Millstone. The rest is on you. All right? Because we're coming into a very evil world. No food, people deleting each other, cannibalism, the Karagma being implemented, World War III, and not necessarily all in that order. They're going to, they're all going to come in the biblical timeline specified by Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right? So, Jacob's trouble, Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. We're coming into, forget the Wild West. we are in the western part of the world. This is going to be the real Wild West. You know, shit, it's going to be the Wild Wild West, Wild Wild East, Wild Wild North, Wild Wild South. But yeah, we're witnessing the fall of the Wild West, the Western Empire. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. All right, keep your head in the swivel. Days are evil. All right, and stay prayed up. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahshai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.